Welcome to Dodgers Dawgs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network. Casey Porter here, joined by Coach Holt. And, Coach, I could not wait to talk to you this morning because kind of here's where I'm throwing this to you. This is going to be therapy for me. Last night's game, I'm going to say point blank, bowling shoe ugly. It sucked. It was pitiful. Whatever term you want to use, it was that for the Dodgers. So the best communicators, the best leaders, you will, are ones that you were the master at this. That they can just rip your ass, but while they're ripping your ass, they're making you feel like you're loved, right? So that's kind of how I feel about the Dodgers right now. I'm wanting to rip their ass right now, but also while I'm doing it, make them realize how much I love them. So can you do that for me one more time, Coach?
Yeah, I learned that from my father. He was an ag teacher. Might as well have been a coach. He'd have been a great coach. First place only, but yeah, he could rip your ass, but you knew he loved you. And you know when I ripped your ass, you know I loved you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That's just something that, the old coaching adage is when things are going bad, give them sugar, and then rip their ass when they're going well to keep them on a level plane. But, I kind of subscribe to both schools' case on that. There's a time and a place for ass ripping. There's a time and a place for a hug, a pat on the back, whatever it takes. But you're right. Sometimes it's time for both, But
what is today?
And Dave Roberts has earned that.
Yes.
The players know him. The clubhouse knows him. He's earned the right to go in there and rip ass. And those are full-grown men, mature men, the best baseball players in the world. They know in the back of their mind, Dave Roberts loves me.
Yes.
We're playing like shit, and he's going to rip us because that's his job. And he's trying to get the best out of us every day. Now, it's a 162-game schedule. It's not like me and you, Case, when we play 35, 40, whatever. Even football, coach, you play once a week. You can beat the hell out of them early in the week and build them back up for Friday night, that sort of thing. So it's nothing new probably for him. As a player, he probably heard it from his managers when he played. And he's probably already had to do that we don't know about, which is fine. I don't need to know. That's his job, not mine. But it's been a while since I talked to you. All-Star break, all that sort of thing. So it's been a while, but I know the last time we talked, the sample size is getting bigger, and that's I'm getting more and more concerned every day. Mm-hmm. If you go, 7-game losing streak, so-and-so's hitting 140, I don't give a shit.
That's an ebb and flow.
This is going on for a long time, and Joe Davis, Oral made a great comment last night about how long the Dodgers were the first in the major leagues of hitting the fastball. Now they're like 27. Mm-hmm. So, since like in May. So that's what I mean. The sample size is getting larger. To me, as an old coacher, I'm getting more concerned because, let's face it, Mookie, this isn't the Mookie Betts we're used to seeing in his entire career. Freddie has leveled off, and Ohtani still, with the big-time homers, but his average is dropping a little bit, actually. Yeah. Has been. He's still the freak of nature that can do his thing, but the consistent one's been Will Smith the entire time, and we just hope that his body don't get broke down, that Dalton Rushing gets enough to at least keep him going. But the sample size on the offensive I'll go back. I was thinking about this last night, Case. I'll shut up here and let you talk.
No, you're great.
But they, before the season, all my buddies, your buddies are calling, hey, what the hell are the Dodgers doing? Just going to buy a championship? But you, Coach, we've been around baseball long enough to know that don't mean a damn thing. They still got to perform out there. They still have to get on the field and perform. Big equalizers, a bunch of injuries, guys not having, the normal seasons they normally have. There's a lot of things kind of, quote unquote, snowballing into this where the pitching injuries are becoming. I probably said it back in the preseason, Case, or at the start of the season. Hell, the Dodgers offense will be so good they can overcome the pitching shortcomings. I really believe that. Right now, it's not good enough to overcome the pitching short. Now, you say, well, what the hell are you talking about, Coach? They scored 7 runs last night. That's what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, we need 11 last night to win.
But how many innings did they score in? It wasn't consistent.
And since the All-Star break, it's been nothing. The home runs has been the only way to score.
Yeah.
They mentioned on the broadcast again last night. I think it's 5 the last 3.5 games, we've hit 10 home runs. Just since the All-Star break. 5 home runs. We've had 9 hits. I think in this series, and 5 of them are home runs. That's what we're getting back into what me and you and probably all the other Dodger dogs that talked to you about. I hadn't seen them all. A bust, all or bust. Or homer. It's all
boom or bust.
Homer or bust, and we can't. You can't win doing that. Milwaukee's kicked our ass 6 straight games, and they bunt, they move around. Pat Murphy's almost back to Arizona State ball.
Yeah,
and kicking people's ass in college baseball. It works. They lay bunts down. They move runners. They're scrappy at the plate. The Dodgers.
They put the ball in play.
The ball in play. That's something me and you talk about all the time as a high school Legion coach. And what the hell? These are big leaguers. Okay, well, get your ass beat. Get your ass beat by a team that's doing it over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to change. And you're probably going to see those guys in the playoffs. We know the Cubs are freaking good. We've seen what Milwaukee's capable of doing. We know the Mets are good. I mean, this damn thing ain't going away. Even our own division, the Padres are breathing down our neck, and they're not necessarily playing good.
They're not.
And
the Giants are playing terrible.
A little bit too, but they're gaining ground. So there's a lot that, like I said, I'll just shut it. The sample size is getting large enough, Case. I'm getting a little bit past concerned, kind of like, I don't know if we'll come out of, It's too early to say that. I don't want to be negative, Nancy. I've been pretty positive, Tony, several times here the last few times.
100%.
But you got to look at it like, we may not see the best of Mookie Betts the entire year. And I don't know. He's probably banged up. I'm sure he is from the start of the season. Freddie, we know, is banged up. We might not see the best out of those guys. I know we count on those top 3 big time. And right now, the only one that has been great the entire season, consistent, has been Will Smith. And we need a lot of other guys to step up, especially some guys at the bottom of the order. Paul Hess has cooled off. We knew that was going to happen. He wasn't going to keep climbing, hit 350 or anything, but we knew he would level off. He still is a tremendous young player, and his upside is huge. And we're with him. He's our guy, but he's cooled off some. And so there's a lot of things to get back initially. We're not going to have such a great offense. We thought we would, where we can overcome a lot, and we have in certain cases. But there's a reason for the come from behind wins. I think next to the Rockies, we've given up the most first run. In other words, our opponents have scored.
That's why we have to have so many comeback wins. Yeah.
We have all those comeback wins because we've given, I think it's 27 times that our opponent has scored first. The only one with more than that is the Rockies. And we know what their record looks like. So the opponent score first, you're always playing from behind. You get a lot of cover from behind wins because, hell, you give up runs early.
Yeah. But then what happens when you don't? That's kind of what I mentioned on our show the other day. So we love to be as positive as we can be. But I think people misinterpret what positive actually is. Positive is not cheerleading. Positive is not telling somebody things are okay when their performance is not okay. That's not being positive. Positive is acting in a way towards people or a group of people that gets them motivated to the point to where they create positive results. So at this point, if you want to cheerlead, if you want to say, oh, it's okay, this and that, my opinion as what you're saying with the large sample size, you're, in my opinion, now you can disagree with this, you're actually enabling. So there's a fine line there between trying to be positive and enabling people to underperform. And if somebody's underperforming, there's nothing positive about that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now is, hey, I could get on here and I could say, hey, everything's going to be okay. We're all right. Mookie's a Hall of Famer, this and that. I could do that, but I don't consider that, A, to be positive because you're not creating positive results. And B, I'll go as far as to say that's a mentality that's enabling. So if you're Andrew Friedman today, you've got to be sitting around going, okay, guys, this has gone on long enough. We got to go find answers.
Yep. And you've got great prospects in the minors if that's where you want to go when you get down to the trading deadline, that sort of thing.
Hell yes.
Case, you mentioned, the attitude. We've all been there. We've all been.
Sure.
I've coached when you're in a slump, and hell, you don't sleep good, you don't eat good. Dave, the look and the way he looks now, his facial, the way he looks. Just physically, as opposed to when things are. But he's a human being. He's like me and you. I'd be the same damn way. I'm sitting there going, good Lord, at this team, and hell, we can't beat anybody sometimes. You could just see it in his face. So I know, the strain of being the manager of the LA Dodgers, like being the manager of the New York Yankees, or whatever. All these pressure cookers. And that's what he had. He knows it. Hell, this guy's a true professional. He's won 2 world titles. He don't need me telling him crap about anything. But you can see the wear and tear on him because he's the head guy. He's the guy that makes out the lineup card. He's searching for answers. Those coaches are searching for answers. As you mentioned, Andrew Freeman, the front office, all these cats are looking. But I feel very confident they've never shown anything other. They may make several moves at the trade deadline. We're saying, well, the Dodgers need a third baseman, need a pitcher.
Yeah.
Hell, we need several things now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, the way things are going, and like I said, we got Hall of Fame players, but there's no secret Mookie's not having the year that we're used to seeing out of him. And another thing, the big sample size is getting very concerned is the defense, man. Good Lord, we're whiffing on fly balls. We can't make a throw. Hell, we're throwing it all over the place, and.
So is your answer to correct the defense Max Muncy? I never thought I'd say that.
No kidding. I mean, we've had some issues, at third base. We got guys that can play there, but Muncy had gotten so much better over there. And of course, the worst thing about losing him at the time is what he was hitting the ball. He was being Max Muncy, the run producer, and he was playing much better at third base. He was, one of the bright spots in the team. That's the sad part. But it happens to every team. Hell, that happens it happens in pro sports, and we just wish him a speedy recovery. But, that the worst time ever for that to happen for the Dodgers. But that being said, it's still the next man up.
It has to be.
Other teams have dealt with it. And,
I'm tired of the injury excuse, Coach. I just am. I mean, it's like a freshman. By the time you have 2 or 3 games left, you're no longer you've played enough. I'm not going to listen to the freshman excuse anymore. These guys have been Ben Kasparius has been on the mound enough. Will Klein, he's been a professional long enough. I'm tired of the injury excuse. Is that too harsh?
No, because we know we're not mad at these guys for getting hurt. You're not saying that. What you're saying is we, as a Dodger fan base or Dodger dogs, all those people who love the Dodgers, we can't keep saying, well, we got guys hurt. Hell, we got a game today. We do. Every freaking day.
So now what? Back to your comment. Now what? Okay, we have all these injuries. Now what?
Now what? Do we just cancel? Hey, can we have a timeout? We need a couple of weeks off. Get some guys healthy. We'll get back with it. It doesn't work that damn way. This is professional sports, and that, again, we're not telling anybody something they don't know. This isn't newsflash or anything. But hell, Dave's getting up today and probably trying to choke down his coffee and a bagel or something, and going, crap. Probably already at the office. Hell, he may have slept there. I might have slept in the recliner in the office if I was going through, kind of what they're going through. And I don't know. He probably handles things better than the old man here, but. Everybody handles things differently, but I promise you there's no reason to be jolly, jolly in the Dodger clubhouse right now. And that's what everybody does. They didn't have it last year. They had it down at times last year. They struggled even in the playoffs. That's the great thing about baseball. How good you're going to be depends on how you handle negative. How you handle the negatives, how you handle defeat, how you handle. Because it's a 300% you're a hell of a player. Hell, there ain't another sport like that. So it's how you handle the failure in this game. It's going to determine in the long run how we're going to do it. And that's not a newsflash case. I'm not in Admir Doubleday over here trying to give everybody a rundown on baseball. I get that, but we need to remind ourselves, of the beautiful part of this game, but. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn if the Dodgers are hurt or man, these guys aren't having the year they normally have. What you depend on, what you've seen out of Mookie Betts, what you've seen out of Freddie, and even Ohtani's something to a point. I mean, he's hitting a lot of home runs and doing his thing, but his batting average is slowly dropping. He's in the 270s now, which hell, it ain't bad. He may not ever hit much higher than that, but it is going down a little bit. So that's something you watch out as far as the batting average for him. And so there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle. They're not really fitting together at all now, but I'm like you. There can be no more excuses. I mean, we had it last year. You didn't make excuses last year. You just plugged in and kept rolling and did what you did. But there's just really not anything right now that's clicking real good. I mean, the pitching has been suspect. The relief pitching has been suspect. The defense has been more than suspect. I don't know how, Probably has a great outfielder. Hell, he missed a fly. How'd they give a damn hit on that, by the way? Anyway, I'm an official scorer, too. But anyway, that sort of thing. Things are happening you wouldn't normally see, out of big league players. Again, Paulie is a very good outfielder, and Mookie, playing shortstop, we've talked about that before. I don't want to get into that. I'd rather be somewhere else, but it's not my call. It's his, whoever's. I don't care. But he's a great athlete, Hall of Fame player. So, he don't expect a lot of errors out of him at shortstop either. And you're seeing some bad throws, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of things. I mean, as they say, when it rains, it pours, Case, and it's definitely pouring on the Dodgers right now. And it's not all rain. There's all kinds of shit falling on them.
Yeah, I did not think that the floor would be this low for this team. I just thought the floor would be – I thought the Dodgers would have the highest ceiling and the highest floor of any team in the league. So I'll say this. I'm to the point to where I think definitely from a fan perspective, my Dodgers fan perspective, which is quite a bit less perspective. I'm a lot more emotional as a fan than I am whenever I get into kind of, being in the game of baseball my entire life, having coached and managed and played, done all that. That's a whole different mentality. I think both perspectives, both the fan perspective, the coach's perspective, the entire perspective at this, I am past the point where, hey, there's ebbs and flows. It's 162. It'll be all right. I'm to the point now, of course, it's going to be unwavering support for Dave. It's going to be unwavering support for every single player. It's going to be unwavering support for Andrew Friedman. They're the best at what they do, period. I will not back off of that. That's not what any of this means. But I am to the point where I need to ask the question, what's the plan? Okay? I'm willing to continue to give you my unwavered support. I always will. But we're to the point where we need a new plan. We need a plan. Tell me what the plan is, because if your plan is, we're just going to ride it out and we're going to wait out the ebbs and flows, I can't buy into that right now.
No, I think I totally agree with you. Ebbs and flows are part of the game. It's actually part of every sport, but more so than baseball than any other sport. Everybody's up and down. You want to play at a level plane, but it doesn't happen. You have ups and downs. But I'm like you. It's really been going on. Like I said, I'll go back to sample size. I always just try to do that. I'm not ready to jump off a cliff. The last 10, 2 and 8 in the last 10, or whatever the hell it is. Okay. So-and-so's hitting 120 in the last 10. Okay. I'm not worried about that crap. But if you go back to the latter part of May, now we're talking about 2 months. That's some shit going on. Okay. Well, that's something like you said, Case. And I trust these. I know that Andrew Friedman, that front office, is the best in the business, and our manager on the field and the coaching staff, best in the business. 100%. Player personnel, Billy and those guys, they're the best in the business. I know they got a plan B, C, D, E. I know they got one. We don't know what it is, but the only way that I would be totally disappointed, we got down the trading deadline, they didn't do shit. But I'm pretty that ain't going to happen.
You better go get a reliever, and you saw the one you need last night, Johan Duran.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about it that they got a plan. And like I said, the Dodgers that's a good part. You mentioned it before, the resources. The Dodgers had the resources. There's a lot of dudes in the minor leagues that the Dodgers want. Yeah, I mean, the other teams would love to have. Yeah. If they need them, they would probably start for them right now at the big league level. There's several guys in Oklahoma City that would be half a starting, team for the Rockies. I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. So the Dodgers, they have the right people in place as far as making those decisions. They have the resources. I expect them to be very active at the trading deadline because, as you just said, something's definitely going to have to change, or this ain't going to end up the way we wanted it to. Mm-mm. Because again, like I said, preseason I got tired of my buddies talking, "Hey, goddamn, just give them the trophy." That ain't the way this. That ain't the way this works. They just start handing out trophies. You got to go out and prove yourself on the field every day. And again, everybody knows this, but it hadn't been pretty for probably a couple of months.
Mm-hmm. Twins are 10.5 back. Yeah. Twins are 10.5 back in their division, 4.5 back in the wild card, which isn't a lot, but it's kind of like a golf tournament when you're 4.5 strokes back. You're like, wow, you look at that number, you're like, I'm not that far back. But then if you actually look at the leaderboard, there's like 17 people you'd have to jump. So as you start birdieing holes, they might too. So the problem the Twins have isn't the 4.5 games back. They have 4 teams they have to jump to get to the wild card. Yep. Johan Duran, he's on a 1-year contract. So if it's kind of interesting. I mean, if you're the Twins, do you want to take the risk of jumping 4 teams with an offense that really doesn't play very good offense? Do you think you can jump 4 teams from here on out? Because if you don't, at the end of the year, and you don't trade Johan Duran, then he walks and you get absolutely nothing back for him. Or you can hedge your bets. You can be a seller to somebody like the Dodgers, and you can go get a Josue De Paula or a Zaire Hope or maybe even a Dalton Rushing or somebody like that. And you can really build towards the future in a year that you probably weren't going to make, likely aren't going to make the playoffs anyways. So if I were the Dodgers right now, this is me, target number one is the guy you saw last night get the last however many outs it was.
Can we just have him change clubhouse today?
Yes.
Just say, hey, go across the way over there. You're over there now. That'd be great. And I know we're getting close to the trading deadline. So
it happens in the minor leagues all the time. I see it all the time. It's hilarious when it happens.
Hey, drop your shit right here and go over there.
Yeah, I see it all the time, Coach.
They're waiting on you over there. Yeah, that'd be nice to happen right there. But no, you're absolutely correct. I mean, this is a results business. It's like all pro sports. There ain't no such thing. Moral victories, all that crap. They don't talk. That's not a professional sport. Verb. Term. That's not something they talk about. So, and we're past the point. Like I said, so many things that you look out there. Nothing looks real damn good right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, I'm like you, Case. 2-8 the last 10. Who gives a crap? It happens. It happens every year. You go. This is getting more and more concerning. This is getting more and more concerning because it keeps lengthening out. It's not, you don't look up and go, well, we're going to make a run here. And I'm sure the Dodgers will make a run at some point, but I'm kind of looking around going, Yamamoto is kind of our bell cow. He's kind of had some struggles in the last couple of starts, and Glasnow has looked good, but he's coming off an injury. What are you going to get there?
It's Tyler Glasnow. You can't. You got to expect an injury. It's just where you're at.
And we know where we are with the other guys. With Kasparis, Pop did something last night. I don't know what the hell happened there. You got last couple of nights we've had pitchers.
Yeah, Will Klein couldn't throw a strike either. Him or Kasparis.
I think Kasparis 17 pitches, 4 strikes.
Yeah,
what I saw. Yeah, 4 strikes, 17. So
it broke my heart. But gosh.
Maybe something going on there. I don't know. I'm not in that business. I'm not going to try to speculate on anything. All I know is the guy couldn't throw strikes. And I hope he's not hurt for any length of time. We need all hands on deck. We need better than 4 strikes and 17 pitches. But he knows that. Everybody knows that. That's not a big shocker. So you're not telling a guy anything you don't know. He's a professional. But there's a lot of ways to look at it. Yeah, we're a couple of weeks ago. We need third base or need relief pitcher. Well, hell. We could use 3 or 4 new guys we need to kind of infuse some. I know you can't totally reload the situation, but you're also, like I said, you're also sitting there going, we're getting the dog days are kind of almost in the back. We're almost to August here. Next week's August. We're kind of on the back end of the dog days. And thank God Will Smith's still performing and throwing runners out. Hell, he's blocking pitches, he's calling games, he's hitting the baseball all over the field, and He's been a major bright spot for the Dodgers. Still the best catcher in baseball. There's any doubt about it. All the way around. That's no news flash for anybody either. But we just got to have other people pick up the slack and up and down the lineup. It's just there's no magic wands. We know that. It is what it is. Let's face it. If our big 3 don't perform, we're really not going to go anywhere. Up to their close to their capabilities, somewhere along that line, we're really going to have a tough time getting anywhere unless something else picks up, unless all of a sudden the pitching staff starts dominating or the bullpen starts dominating, something, and I can't see that happening right now for a lot of reasons. I'm not going to use the I word anymore. Okay.
Yeah,
we're both off of that. Everybody gets it. It's gone on the last 2 years. It's probably even worse this year, be real honest with you, because it's so many of our top line arms are over there now. Some of your top players are over there. So we won't even use the I word. It's becoming an excuse, and it doesn't need to be. It's a way of life. It's a way of life for every professional team. This time of year, everybody's nicked up. Hell, I bet Will has a hell of a time getting out of bed every day. But he gets out, he gets stretching. He's a professional. When he wakes up every morning, he's a professional baseball player. That's what he does every day. So. They find a way to get themselves ready to play, and it's been a high level for him. But, this, again, we're sitting, we got 3-game leads. I know the Padres lost last night.
Yeah, they lost last night to the Marlins.
3.5. So that's the good thing. The Giants have not done a whole lot. Maybe we're getting back to where hell, we're all wrong. I was thinking, all three of those teams are going to be in the damn playoffs. Hell, maybe just the division champions are going to be the only one in the damn playoffs, because you look over, the Brewers are nuts and the Cubs are nuts and all the other division, the other teams in the National League, and maybe just our champion comes out of there. So it's odd how things change. Not funny, ha-ha, but funny. We're all sitting there going, hell, Giants and the Padres, and the Diamondbacks, hell, the best division in baseball. Hell, I don't know. I mean, it hadn't really panned out that way from top to bottom as you look at it.
Yeah. Right now, if the playoffs started tomorrow, the NL West would have, so here, obviously your leaders are the Cubs, the Brewers, the Dodgers, and the Phillies. And then in your wild card, you have Chicago, Milwaukee, New York, and San Diego. So hanging on by a thread. And San Francisco is 2.5 games back from the wild card. So you would have 2 in, but the Padres and San Francisco are the next 2, so it looks like you probably will get 2. Okay. I'll say this, though, Coach, the Dodgers will have a plan. I know Andrew Friedman does not like to give away his prospects at all. Please do. Do not hoard your prospects. Number 1, Ryan Ward, Hunter Fiducia, what's happening to Dalton Rushing right now, not getting any playing time. What's happened to several of these, Drew Avens, who timed out. Okay, so you have Andy Pies, who's a young player. There's only 3 outfield spots. You're probably going to get another outfielder through free agency in the future. So between Josue De Paula, Zaire Hope, Eduardo Quintera, Mike Sirota, between all these guys, you're only going to need probably 1 major league outfielder out of all of those guys. So why hold on to all 4 of them? Why? So here's my request. Don't hoard your prospects. Trade them. If you can go get a Johan Duran, go get him. Okay, I don't care who it is that you have to go get. Go get him, because he is the guy that can cover a massive hole right now. Who the back end of the bullpen, or the bullpen at all. And I wasn't on this page as of very recently, because I just said, trying to get back. But hey, with Ben Casparius not pitching very well, I mean, you're throwing Will Klein, Edgardo Henriquez, and Alexis Diaz. That's major-ass projects right there. You have got to shore up your bullpen. So don't sit there and go, I don't want to give away Josue De Paula. I don't want to give away. Well, then you're not going to get Johan Durant. You're going to get Michael Kopech, okay, who was great last year, but it's not a guarantee. The Dodgers need somebody like Duran who is a guarantee. So here's my request. Don't hoard prospects. Trade whoever you have to trade to fix your problems, because the problems are fixable.
Yes, no doubt about it. And again, I don't claim to be a player personnel guy. We got great ones in Billy and his staff. And,
no doubt.
And Andrew Friedman, but you don't want to look at it like cattle. You've probably dealt with cattle more than I have, Case. You've been on the Glencoe farmers. You're the Terry Porter and all the Porter family and all that. You're 1,000
going there
acres.
Today.
You're 1,000 acres. You're 500 head of cattle over there. But you don't look. You look at them as what's their value?
Mm-hmm.
You got some guys that, as you mentioned, the one that already aged out, Avens. You got some guys that are on that timeline now. You're like, it's kind of they need to make a move one way or the other with them.
Mm-hmm.
Or that you don't have room for them on the big league level. Well, there's other teams that probably do that would like to have them. So it's like what you said. I know that's a chess game. You don't want to give up. If we got some 19, 20-year-old guys out there that are great prospects, hell no, I'm not giving them up. Guys that just got in the system, they're working their way up. But you got some guys that are quality baseball players that are sitting behind Hall of Famers. They're sitting in Oklahoma City behind Hall of Famers, and that has some value. I don't know. I'm not in the business. I don't know what the value is. I know Ethan Holliday's worth $9 million evidently, but I know I've seen him in my own eyes. He's probably worth every dime. We'll see how that goes in the future. But as far as the value of these guys, it's got to be about as for them personally. It's about as high as it should be. And I know you mentioned this for a long time ago, because you get to know these prospects because you're very close in Oklahoma City. You become, I'll say it, you almost become friends with these guys, Case, and you feel for them. You don't want to see them leave the Dodgers, but you also want to see them to have their shot, which means you would have loved to have had their shot of being a big league player, and it's right there within their grasp. And so the other side of when Casey Porter, the friend, thinks, God dang, I'd love to see him get a shot. Sure, I'd like to have him stay at the Dodgers, but he's behind freaking Hall of Famer. He ain't gonna get a shot.
Yeah.
So there's that part. So the value of those guys, I think, the Dodgers have some. I kind of agree with him. I would hate giving up those young hot prospects.
Yeah,
pitchers.
I have no problem with it myself, but
19, 20 years. But here's the other side. The club that's paying the bills is in L.A.
Yeah, right.
The people
Absolutely.
the people are going to lose their jobs if it goes to hell in a handbasket or in L.A. So so you look at that another way. I'm not going to sit there and because I got some resources that I'm not taking advantage of, and it ends up going to hell. And if this thing don't get turned around pretty soon, maybe we're the one on the outside looking in the playoffs roll around, and that'd be a major malfunction of the organization.
Well, I mean, the Padres are the last one in, and they're 3.5 games back from you. So it's close. It's closer than you think.
We're not that far away.
Yeah. I know that probably sounds a little bit dramatic, but it's really not. Hey, I wanted to get to one last just kind of one-off point here. Will Smith last night, see, this is why Will Smith's so great. He throws a 1.5 leather-to-leather pop time. Now, amateurs at the amateur ranks, there's no other way we can do it. We just do it from leather to leather with a stopwatch, and sometimes we do it digitally too. So a pop time for an amateur is always going to be from leather to leather. So when you have an 18-year-old kid that goes, oh, I have a pop time of 1.98, well, just understand that's from the time it hits your glove to the time it hit the second baseman's glove. That is not how they calculate pop time in the major leagues. They calculate pop time digitally. They have a formula and a way to figure out, okay, because, I mean, hell, if you caught the ball 3 feet in front of the bag, leather to leather is going to be pretty fast. And the Dodgers do that quite a bit. So they calculate how long it would have taken the ball to get to the middle of second base. So it's not leather to leather in the major leagues. So I just wanted to make the point. Will Smith actually popped leather to leather a 1.5 last night. So when an amateur comes up and says, I'm popping 1.9, and you're going, well, hell, that's below the major league average. Well, that's because they're going leather to leather, and that's so. If these amateurs actually had to go, and their time was a calculated time to the middle of the second base bag, that 1.9 would turn into about a 2.3. So I wanted to get that out there. That if you ever hear amateurs tell their pop times, just know you can't compare that to major league pop times.
I know when I was coaching, was always shot for right on our high school. Our guys always shot for 2.0 or less. That's what we always shot for. Like you say, now you're like me on social media. They'll pop up this kid, 15 years old. They got all the velocity off the bat, blah blah blah. And pop time, 1.9. I'm sitting there going, what the hell, man? I mean, but like you said, if you go leather to leather, that's still not major league level, which it shouldn't be if you're 15 years old.
Yeah, right.
Then sometimes you see these outrageous pop times. You're going, that guy's going to be a first round draft pick if he's got that. So you never know. It's everybody's different with a stopwatch.
No doubt.
There's a lot of 4.3 sprinters that are actually 4.8. But it looks good on when somebody's recruiting my wide receivers. I can throw it out there. But I always take a story about Austin Box, great football player at OU. Sad story. As I've said before, the best high school football player I've ever seen on two eyes. Case he's at Enid High School, and I was at Stillwater. Yeah. Unbelievable. That guy he's a great baseball player too, great athlete, 6'2", 220 pounds, could fly. The Enid coaches always tell me, Austin stole second and third against us one time at Stillwater, and we had a Division I catcher back there that played at OSU. He stole second and third standing up, and there was no chance. I've seen him on the football field. I'd always say, Box can run. Oh, hell, coach, he's only 4'8". Shut the hell up. Burn your watch. Do something. So that's what I'm saying. That's all relative. You never know who's on the end of the watch, all that kind of crap like that when you start getting numbers out there. But all I know is that I saw with my own eyes, guys 220 pounds in high school, and people disappeared when he hit them. And he would have been in the NFL, like I said, horrible, sad story of what I seemed like my dealings with him. It seemed like a really nice young man, great talent. There's millions of those all over the world. I know if that's one that's close. The me and you have seen their own two eyes. So getting back to the numbers deal, that's what I'm saying. You never know whoever run the watch. Like I said, burn that damn watch. That ain't right, dude. There ain't no way that guy's a 4'8". Hell, get out of here. Yeah.
So it's Tyler Glass now tonight against Paddock of the Twins. So what are you looking for? Actually, it's afternoon. So what are you looking forward to here?
Yeah, I'm looking for number one to win. Glass now has has looked good. I mean,
1:10 start today, by the way, Pacific time.
Yeah, good. So I can get to watch that one. I have to celebrate my son's birthday.
Awesome.
And watch a little Dodger baseball again. By the way, I love listening to Joe and Oral. I love that every day, man. I need to get on some of those other platforms. I know that you listen to Rick Mundy and those guys too. I need to start listening to some of those.
All you got to do is click the little gear icon on the bottom right, and you can flip it to the radio broadcast. It's awesome. Okay. I flip back and forth all night.
I need to do that because I love Rick Mundy and those guys too. Listen to them, but it's really good. Joe and Oral, they're really good. But anyway, I'll get off that. But last night's been good. I mean,
Hey, by the way, last night, before you go on, you want to hear this. So Rick Monday, somebody just threw a hanging slider and the hitter swung and missed and swung as hard as he could. And Rick just goes, I need to put back on my shoes. And we're all just kind of sitting there at this radio. So I'm kind of just putting inferences here, but you can tell Steven Nelson's like, what the hell did you, what? I mean, like he doesn't know what to say, and I'm thinking, what the hell did he just? Why did he tell us that he needs to put back on shoes? And the perfect timing, Rick Monday, he goes, well, that's an old saying in baseball. Whenever you get a hanging slider, you come out of your shoes. So I came out of my shoes. He said that was such a hanging slider. I came out of my shoes, and so I need to put them back on. And I mean, Steven Nelson's like, that's the greatest line. I'm still laughing about it. Rick Monday is the absolute best. He's a national treasure. He needs to put back on his shoes. He came out of his shoes, Coach.
His $high loafers underneath his table there probably came off.
Absolutely.
He's like, oh man, Rick Mundy used to dream of those things, man, I saw Rick Mundy on 4th of July not too long ago, saving the American flag when he was we knew it was fate for him to be a Dodger when he did that at Dodger Stadium when he's with the Cubs. But what great broadcast. I need to listen to more of Rick Mundy. As you know, he's one of my favorites, always has been. I'll never forget his home run in Montreal Olympic Stadium back in 78, where the hell it was, on a Monday afternoon rain delayed game, and to put the Dodgers in the World Series. And great player and a great broadcast, a great Dodger. So coming out of your shoes, I hadn't heard that one in a long time.
That was awesome.
It's kind of like spit on it. Throw you a curveball, you can't hit it, spit on it, let it go. And, we got that's the great part of baseball. The old guys like Rick Mundy and us, and me and you, we can relate to that stuff there. But now I would look for Glass now to continue to maintain him. He's got to keep him healthy. The guy we know he's got good stuff. I mean, it starts. He hasn't got a whole lot of run support. There's that. There's some of that stuff going on. So, but really, outside of a few games, there hadn't been a whole lot of run support. I know they got 7 last night, but again, you're getting them, off the home run. And trust me, I'm not wanting to give them back, but the all or bust or nothing, home run or bust type deal. We get back into that. Outside of Shohei, we're not going to live off the home run. That guy can. He's going to hit 50 plus again. So we know he can do it, but we don't want the whole team being in that mode. So I hope defensively, did a good strong defensive game. Again, we're not in a football mentality. Hey, we got to win, but we really do need to win. I mean, there's times I remember coaching you guys, Case. I never ask you to win during the day. Every now and then I go, we kind of need to win. We got 3
about
days
6
off.
Hey guys, we need to win this game. I mean, come on, man.
This is one we need to win.
Right.
The way it's going, it'd be a feather in our cap mentally. If we
now is the season over if we lose? No, but we need to win this game, guys.
Yeah, you grow every day. They grow. Even on the big league level, those guys learn and grow every day. Those guys. I mean, that's the amazing part about it. They don't dominate it every day. Every day's a new day. That's all true of baseball. That's why it's the greatest sport in the world, because that's what it is. Every day's a new day. You don't dominate shit. Nobody dominates it. Nobody wins every game. Yeah. That's why those guys get up, and 20-year veterans are still out there working off the tee and short toss and working on their swing with the hitting coach. Out there working on
changing their stances, moving where their hands are at, like Freddie Freeman trying to figure out what he needs to do with his back ankle, that kind of stuff, every day.
Everything. Of course, now they watch the video. They've got everything. They're out there with their infielders working on their picks. Freddie's working on the pick. I mean, everybody's getting their things, and they do it every day because they have to. Yeah. It's hard to be good at baseball. That's no news flash again. I'm Captain Obvious here. I need to put my hat on here, Captain Obvious. Shit.
Well, I'm Captain Red Ass. We're both captains of something today.
Captain Red Ass first and foremost, and then
Okay.
now I'm Captain Obvious.
So you're wearing two different hats. Okay, I got you.
Shit, I got my nice Dodger Daily hat on.
That's
anyway.
nice. That's nice.
But it's a new day. Get out there. You've got to dominate. Those guys put in the time every day. That's why it's the best sport in the world.
It is.
You don't know. Hey, is this guy ready to pitch today? Shit, I don't know. I'm watching.
I'll let you know in about an hour and a half how well if he was ready.
Me and you both have hit in and out, and it looked like shit. You throw your phone, go run the team,
Oh,
then
yeah.
you play great. Or you take a great in and out, and you make 5 errors. Hell, there's no wedge. That's the beautiful part about baseball. Yeah. There's no guarantees. There's nothing set in stone of the way it's going to go. You can have a game plan. You can wad it up and throw it in a trash can and kick the bucket and whatever you need to do. Shit happens all the time. And I'm sure Dave's kicked a lot of buckets. He hasn't shown a lot of frustration outwardly, but I'm sure there's some chairs and buckets and trash cans in his office that aren't in good shape right now.
Yeah. Conversations aren't quite as easy. Dinner doesn't taste quite as well. The eyes don't close quite as easy. You don't fall asleep as fast as you normally do. That happens even to the millionaire professionals. But
even out of the Dodger Cup, the coffee doesn't taste quite as good.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Well, I don't know about that. Everything Dodgers really, yeah.
Pretty good.
We might not go that far about the coffee, Coach. Don't mess with the coffee, man.
Till I die right there, baby. Till I die.
Yeah, I hear you.
Dodger Blue.
I hear you, Coach.
You're the same way.
Hey, I started out as Captain Red Ass. I think I've worked through all of my emotions without being just complete negative cesspool. So if you disagree with anything on this show, there's probably a good chance that when the Dodgers win a game and I'm in a better mood, I'll probably disagree with it too. So let's go with that. That's the fun part of cussing and discussing baseball, isn't it?
We like to keep it real, Case. I mean,
yeah.
Here's what we all know. Me and you, all the Dodger dogs that are on this network with us, all the Dodger dogs out there that follow us. First and foremost, we love the Dodgers, and we ain't changing. That ain't going away. Until the day I die, Dodger, Oklahoma State, Dodgers, and Thunder, since, they're right down the road here. Yeah. Obviously, world champions, if anybody didn't hear that. But anyway, so that's what we know. That's what we know is and that's not ever going to change. That's why we're passionate about it. But, I'm not going to sit here and rip, hey, fire Dave, they'll get rid of Shohei. No, hell no, we ain't going there. But they do need to do better. I mean, we're not going to sit here and act like, we need them to do better, however you want to put it. We need those guys to be better. And I know they can't be great every day. That's unfair to think that way. We need them close to where they've been in their history, because that's kind of what the Dodgers have based the whole thing off, putting a lineup together, putting a roster, putting a 40-man together, based off your needs and the strengths and weaknesses. So, and boy, that's damn sure changed since the start of the season.
No doubt.
But that's the way it is. And again, total confidence in the front office, from ownership on down all the way to the freaking trainers. That guy earned his damn money. The trainers on the Dodgers and trainers in Oklahoma, and the whole organization, those damn guys all need a raise last couple of years, getting these players, trying to get them back and get them healthy. And not the surgeons, they make too damn much money anyway. If these guys that are down to the PT guys and getting those guys back and trying to get them back the right way, those guys damn sure deserve a raise. So I got faith in the organization top to bottom, and I know they're going to do the right thing, or they're going to try. They're going to do exactly what they think's best for the organization. I have no doubt in my mind.
1,000%. Coach, this has been a great conversation. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. We've gone a long time. We're almost at 45 minutes. So I'm sure Dodgers fans, the Dodgers dogs out there like, hey, you told me, get the hell off the air. That's probably what they're thinking right now. So,
that's okay.
Hey, thanks for joining. I love you, Coach.
Love you too, Case. And be safe out there on the farm with Terry Porter and the family out there in Glencoe, Oklahoma. And I always love seeing you. And we need to do this more often and go Dodgers.
Yeah. No doubt. Spraying out all that damn Lespedisa so all the cows will have something to eat, because they won't eat that crap. So you just end up with like 6-foot tall weeds everywhere. So spraying all that crap out.
You got 500 head of cattle over there, the Porter family. Hell, you gotta take good care of them.
Yeah. That 160-acre farm will take about 3 cows right now, which is what we're trying to figure out at the moment. So, Coach, it's been a lot of fun.
That's 3 more than the coaches got. Hell, I got 2 little wiener dogs, but all I got to take care of.
Well, I told you when you took the job at Glencoe, there's 2 things you need to know. You need to know your different species of cattle, like is that a Black Angus or what? Is it a Hereford or whatever it is? And then you also need to know when you see a stray dog, what kind of dog is it? Those are the two types. That's the first two things you need to learn when you went to Glencoe. So
yeah, most of them are Heinz 57 in Glencoe. Most of the strays,
that's absolutely 100% dog.
57s everywhere, baby.
Yeah. Okay, Coach, it's been a lot of fun. To all you Dodgers dogs, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a joy. Hey, we will not have it down the farm today because we're going to cover that tonight in our live show with Austin Brubaker. We're going to go on live this evening, so that'll be a lot of fun. We'll cover all the prospect action, down the farm action tonight in that show because this show's gone on for almost 45 minutes here. So, hey, I want to thank you for tuning in. And as always, remind you that, hey, yes, this is a rough patch, but as always, it is a great day to be a Dodger.